What's up, everyone? Welcome to Redskins Talk TV. This is your host, Dre. I'm coming at you with this video. I'm on my break, so hopefully I can squeeze us all in with the limited time that I have. Excuse me. Now, I want to talk about this game with the Carolina Panthers. Now, I like to first and foremost apologize because I didn't put up my video with the my post-game analysis with the New Orleans Saints. I did make a video, I just never posted it. So again, to my Redskins family and friends, apologize for that. In that video, I said that it was exciting about the fact that we beat the Saints. Drew Brees and the offense can put up points. They've given fits to teams. It's just their defense, which is a problem. So I was excited about the win and the scoring output, but I know that we also did that against a very subpar defense. Going into the next game, I did caution in terms of coming up against the Carolina Panthers, who have a very stout defense. So I knew that there were going to be some challenges. In this game, I didn't think that the challenges were going to be such an uphill battle. From the offensive standpoint, we really couldn't get anything clicking with the passing game to where we got a lot of positive momentum. Excuse me. Definitely didn't get anything on the running game. But with the passing game, Kirk Cousins, he did throw the interception. He was sacked and stripped, and we lost that. I can't remember if it was once or twice that he lost from the sack and strip from the Carolina defense. But there are a lot of instances where our offensive line didn't help him. I did see in one instance because of the snap count. You see where Williams, he didn't move. I mean, the guy just blew right past him, and then by the time Kirk Cousins was hit, he decided to look up and turn around and see what was going on. I think initially I was thinking Laribus could fill in well as the center, but he's having some issues with the snap count, and that's part of the problem. So I know we had picked up one center from the New Orleans Saints, and maybe it's be suitable to put him in, but Josh Laribus isn't cutting it. There have been times where the snap has been a little off instead of going right back to Cousins, and that's creating a little bit of an issue. But overall, with the passing game, there was only so much that Kirk Cousins can do. It wasn't a problem to where we had a lot of drops like we did with the Patriots. It was just a matter of things just were not clicking. Couldn't get too much output from Deshaun Jackson, Garcon, Jordan Reed. Reed in particular, I know he had one fumble. He was exchanging the ball in the hand because he was running upfield trying to move it from one hand where the contact is coming. It just so happened that when he did, he bobbed the ball down where the point of the ball was in his hands and his arm was straight down, so it wasn't really cradled. And he got hit and it stripped. Matt Jones, fourth lost fumble at that. Ball security, and he's got the nerve to be upset because of his fumble. This is something that you should be securing in practice because you know that you've had fumbles. Teammates, especially defensive teammates, are going to go for the ball. They just want to see if you're able to hold the ball. Even if it's just something where you're casually carrying it around, putting the ball on the ground, especially when you have such an opportunistic defense like the Carolina Panthers, they're going to go for it. And that's what they did. I like Matt Jones, but I'm still questioning why Alfred Morris isn't in. Of course, he was injured, rib injury with the previous game, so he's still recovering from that. In fact, he left out of the game because of that injury to the ribs, and we weren't able to get much production out of him. But overall, the ground game was quite lethargic, something that I don't use quite often when I'm talking about my Skins, but the ground game was lethargic. I think we were in the single digits for total rush yardage, and that's not acceptable. I know there was one rushing play to where Kirk Cousins was getting down to like maybe the 8 yards. I mean, we were in the red zone, and it was called back because of a holding call against Jordan Reed. So lack of discipline is another problem that we have, not only for offense but defense. And I'll talk about the defense in a bit because I think our defense is what really fucked us up in this game. But we really couldn't get anything going. We really couldn't get anything going on offense. Now, in terms of defense, lack of discipline. There were a lot of instances where we had encroachment calls. In fact, there were a couple times where it was consecutive. Number either 92 or 94 got called more than once in the game. And that's problem as far as offensive line coach. Overall, with the defensive discipline handed down from Joe Barry, That should never, ever happen, especially this many times in the game. I think we had like 4 or 5 encroachment calls in this game, and that all comes down to defense and lack of discipline, and also lack of leadership from the coaching staff. I'm not sold on Joe Barry because there's a reason why San Diego let him go. Their defense has slipped. They have a decent offense for San Diego, but the defense has been a problem. So now that we have him, and also with our 3-4 alignment, I don't know if maybe it's better if we had a 4-3 defense. All the same, things like that we just can't do. We can't do against a quality team like the Carolina Panthers. And I'm taking a page out of my homeboy Louis T. And if you haven't been to his page, check him out. He's a Redskins fan. A lot of good information on his channel. And Louis T will tell you, we're not a good team. And we're not playing like a good team. Good teams find a way to eliminate mistakes, and we're not finding ways. We keep putting ourselves into a hole and digging a deeper hole. We cannot do that if we want to be competitive. The NFC East is open. We're still in second place, but it's open, and there's no reason why we can't take the division. But we can't even think about taking a division because we have to worry about winning consecutive games. That's something that we haven't been able to do. In this game also, Chris Culliver. I'm on his ass. I'm not sold on Chris Culliver at all. He plays too soft. Every game, he's giving more cushion than a damn furniture store. And you'll hear me say that a lot. Nothing pisses me off more than corners playing off the line of scrimmage. And when you look at teams that play us and our receivers, those defenders are usually in the face of our wide receivers the entire game. They don't let them off the line of scrimmage easily. Chris Culliver is too busy trying to peek at what the quarterback is doing instead of playing the man in front of him. He's too busy to be a playmaker when he's a penalty waiting to happen. Case in point, the hit on Greg Olsen. A lot of Redskins fans are griping about that hit. And while it's easy to think and be emotional about that play because that could have been 7 points. And I'm going to talk about that because what if we did get to 7 points? We still would have had to get Cam Newton back on the field. And the entire game, we were not able to get him easily off the field. He was extending plays, not so much with his legs. He could have, but he ran very few times. He was extending plays with his arm. And we were letting the receivers off the line of scrimmage. That hit from Chris Culliver, when you look at it from certain angles, what you see is him throwing his forearm into the upper numbers part of the chest for Greg Olsen. You don't see helmet-to-helmet contact. But human physiology, human anatomy, between the arms and the head is the shoulders. And from every angle that I saw, Chris Culliver launched himself in an upward position and his shoulders hit Greg Olsen in the face. It was a good play, and even if he didn't get called for that and we got 7 points, we would have lost 44 to 21 because we were not able to get pressure often on Cam Newton. We had Cam Newton sacked for 3rd and 26. He completed a 19-yard pass, and then after that, he got a first down. That's lack of discipline, lack of hustle from our defense. So how are we supposed to beat a competitive team like that when we're too busy beating ourselves? That is a problem. Also, Chris Culliver, he prevented us from getting an interception. Breeland had an interception in the end zone. Culliver went up at the same time while Breeland pretty much had the ball secured, and it knocked the ball out of his hands. Screwed us out of that interception. So it wasn't anything that one of the Panthers players did. We actually screwed ourselves up because he wasn't, I can understand it's just a natural instinct to go for the ball because it's in the air. But Breeland had that, and Culliver screwed it up for us. So that was another opportunity for us. Our turnovers in which the Carolina Panthers were able to capitalize and we were not. That's a problem. Anyway, our next game is against the Giants. Division rivalry. They already kicked our ass earlier to this season. We have to come back and try to prove that we can take this game and we can better our position. At least we'll be a half game below first place. But this loss, it really hurt because of all the miscues from our defense and lack of production on the ground. Overall, we lack the leadership from the coaching staff. Sean McVay, I don't think he's cutting it as our offensive coordinator. We're not putting things together on the ground, and because we cannot establish a ground game, we're one-dimensional. And we're doing stupid shit like calling screen plays. There's one instance where we had Chris Thompson out wide, and the moment Kirk Cousins snapped the ball and is about to turn his shoulders to throw to the screenplay to Chris Thompson, the defender was contacting Chris Thompson as he caught the ball. Too predictable. And against quality defenses, we seem to try to run that screenplay like it's actually going to work. It worked against the Saints because they're a shit defense. It's not working against some of these better defenses. And Sean McVay keeps calling these dumb-ass trick plays knowing that they're not working, and defenses are sniffing that out. So part of the problem, and it's not so much Jay Gruden, because we need stability with the head coaching staff. So I'm not saying call for Jay Gruden. I'm pissed off about what he did to RG3, but I'm rolling with Kirk Cousins because he's a starting quarterback, and that's just how it is. But Sean McVay as an offensive coordinator, he's the wrong choice. We need someone that's going to call better plays and create better mismatches with our offensive players and the defenses that we're coming up against. Anyway, I'll come up with my next video after we play the Giants. Hopefully we can beat them. If you like this video, I hope that you like, subscribe, and share. And to my Redskins family, hail to the Redskins.